right, we are streaming on Monday, June 1st, 2020. It looks like so far we've got kind of a letdown in protests. They've kind of simmered off. I guess the funding has kind of died back. There are a lot of people that are catching on to what is going on. And so they are, I have a feeling that probably has something to do with it. I mean, the visibility is pretty much off of the rioters, and everybody's looking for the funders at this point. What is up? What is up? Welcome to Dugan's Transient Car Show. So the big difference that's been really successful is that word has gotten out all over the United States that this protest riot debacle has been entirely synthesized. Now, I don't think that people are like normal people aren't realizing the gravity of what's really going on, but they are figuring out. So everybody's suspicious, and I have a feeling that probably has to do with some of this buttoning up that's occurring. So if you know shit, if you saw something that you think is important, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and archive, screen cap, and make sure that you pull whatever you saw so that we can, if need be, maybe it's the missing puzzle piece that we'll come into later. We're getting really close, and this thing is growing in terms of the investigation that's going on. And it's not just the people involved with this channel. There's a bunch of totally mutually exclusive groups that are doing this, that are just people that have gotten together that are wanting to know the truth of what's going on. In terms of the investigation that I'm involved in, it's getting pretty interesting. We had some dead ends. We found out that the bricks probably aren't a place to look. Some of these brick locations have been there since like February. So the brick thing, although suspicious, is probably not going to pan out unless you know of a brick location that got dropped off within like 48 hours before the protest or during the protest. If you know about that for sure, then send me an email, duger@tutornoto.com. If we're talking about the rest of these bricks, they're probably already there. But we have some other leads I don't really want to touch on in the video because I don't want to spook people and get people buttoned up or get people fired up on a wild goose chase. But we've got some hot tips here. We got like going down the line here. I think that we're going to figure it out. I think that we're going to identify ultimately who this is. Keep in mind that when you're researching this stuff, we're really not interested in we have to identify everybody that is, purposeful or, consciously involved and aware that this is a, funded and synthesized thing. But what we're trying to get to is we're identifying and doing a network analysis on the chain of funding that has been injected into all these groups around the United States to get them to pop off at the same time. And we probably have almost enough data to do that. We just have to do some more legwork because it's lots of research. So that's kind of where we are in terms of the unsolved mysteries. Who are the fuckfaces that are popping off riots in the United States? I haven't checked the news. I don't know what's going on in terms of the state response to this. I would be looking for that and paying attention because we're probably going to get a pretty dramatic state response. And depending on how dramatic it is and how, there's a lot of people, especially like the normal people that consider themselves conservatives. The normie conservatives are pretty much yeah, go get them, military. So they're not really, suspicious about any of this stuff, especially the deployments that are supposedly going on. It's important to look at because if they're doing a dramatic, reserve component deployment or active military component, if that comes up here, there's a pretty good chance that is the entire reason for the riots taking place in the first place. You feel me? You feel me, bro dogger? This is what we're dealing with here. So, the implications of this are huge, and we all need to be paying attention and feeding info. If you have anything that I should look at that's significant, you can email me at Dooger, Dooger, at tutanota.com, tutanota.com. If you are not going to be disruptive, you can come into the Discord and assist in the investigation. There's want to go. You can find links in the chats on other videos. I'm not going to put a link in here. It's probably not as simple as George Soros. Not as simple as George Soros. Okay. People really put George Soros on the last Antifa riot deal where it got famous. Well, that was because a blog, did a piece that highlighted George Soros. But if you went into Alliance for Global Justice's 4990, they're actually about some of the shit that was going on. You had like Patagonia was funding the Alliance for Global Justice, aside from George Soros. Nobody gave a shit about that. That's kind of high profile. So although George Soros, Tides Foundation is certainly involved in actual people that are getting money, as the fucking information comes, there's a lot more to do. It's very slow. It's a shitload. Our biggest bottleneck right now, we have so much information right now that it's taking time to process it. But it is coming. We are going right along. So that's about it. That's the update. I'm sure that China's fucking escalating. Start thinking about your... Love you guys. Have fun.